Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good of marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call that icing on the cake. Now, the mission at Marketing Pulpit Show is to build strong businesses in our community so that we can put our people to work. And we do that with business development, job creation, and service. So if you ever find yourself in a business crossroads and not sure which way to turn, just turn on the Marketing Pulpit Show because we're on a mission. The show is broadcast live from the illustrious Radio 1 studio. Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I'm Robert Gatewood, your host, and we are here every Friday bringing you the good marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. That's a big task, but we're up to it every Friday right here. We are bringing people together, bringing resources, bringing information, and bringing you so you can chime in on the various topics we're going to talk about. I'm Robert Gatewood. I'm a business developer by trade. I have a company called Gatewood Marketing and Web over in the DC area. I'm also a professor at Prince George's Community College, where I teach marketing, digital marketing, networking, social media strategies, PR and communications, testing your business idea at the Employ Prince George's. So my plate is rather full. I'm also a subcontractor with a Small Business Administration under the SBA program, helping companies in the business and technical space. And I've also written 2 books, one called Played in Full and one called Smarter Than the Boss. Like the young folks say, I have receipts. But that's not to show off. That's to say, when you're taking advice from somebody, make sure they know what they're talking about, particularly now in this era of AI and you don't know what to believe anymore. But right here, I'm going to tell you a little secret today, as I always do. Folks, stay tuned to this show. I'm going to show you how to make a business that's sustainable. There are so many fly-by-night ideas out here. They come and they go, they're shiny objects. But the way to build a business is to lay down a solid foundation with knowledge, experience, expertise, dealing with the right people. And, you want to get off that business roller coaster. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Get on something that's solid and build you something that's going to last. And that's what we try to do here on the Marketing Pulpit. So you're on the right place. Thank you again for tuning in. We have an exciting show today. We're going to talk about, is the customer always right? Have you been called by a customer and they just cuss you out? They irate. They just ream you up one way and down the other. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes and how you can deal with that and how you can prevent it and avoid it, and what you do when you find yourself in the midst of an irate customer conversation. How are we going to deal with that? So that's one of the many things we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about some items in the news. And if you haven't already, go to the mpi.bz and get your name in our business directory. It's hopping. It's always hot. Got new people joining this week. We have Valley Medical Weight Loss out of Arizona. We have Search Business Group out of Fullerton, California. We have Black Camels out of Houston, Texas. We have Garage Fish Spas out of Arlington, Virginia. Go to mpi.bz and check out our sponsors, our members of our business directory, and make sure you get your name in there too so we can shout you out. And don't forget to check out our featured sponsor members, Ms. Colette Jackson out of Miami, Drew University out of Madison, New Jersey, Minister of Wellness out of Washington, D.C. That's Mr. Nathaniel Jordan. HBCU Leggings out of Beltsville, Maryland. D-Live Scan Fingerprints and Passports out of Hyattsville, Maryland. And don't forget our good buddies, BLE Executive Suites, and of course, Mr. Bradley Thomas Law out of the Washington, D.C. area. So let's go ahead and check them out and get your name in that directory. Also, we're going to talk about some exciting things today. We're going to talk about, matter of fact, one of my sponsors and good friends going to jump in today from a Legal Chill. He's going to pop in a few moments when we come back from the break. So stay tuned for that. He's going to talk about this process. I'm sure you heard about Legal Chill. He's going to give us the inside scoop on how it works and how it might work for you. So hang around for that. So we have a lot of things going on today. I'm going to get into some news items because the news just keeps on coming here. And we keep losing good people. Man, I don't know what's going on. What is going on? Something in the air, something in the water. But we lost another icon, Mr. Bill Lucy. Mr. Bill Lucy, let me Mr. Lee, he was a labor leader. He died Wednesday in his D.C. home. He was a heavyweight of the American labor movement in the second half of the 20th century. He was right on the front line, marching shoulder to shoulder with Dr. Martin Luther King during the Memphis strike was down in Memphis, Tennessee, when Dr. King lost his life. He's the co-founder and longtime leader of the Coalition of Black Trade Unionists and co-founder of the Free South Africa that launched a successful anti-apartheid campaign in the United States. So Mr. Bill Lucey, he died this past Wednesday at the age of 90, and he will be sorely missed. One of my good friends, William Maxwell, he was co-host on the show. He was been a good friend of Mr. Lucey for the past 20 plus years, and he's the one who brought me this news. So we're going to dedicate this show to Mr. Bill Lucey, giant of a man. We have a hurricane down in the southwest, in the southeast right now. It's pummeling Florida, and it's been raised up to a category 4. Now that thing keeps changing from 4 to 3, tropical storm, but whatever it is, it's bringing in 140 mile an hour winds. And it's the strongest winds that hit the state in the Big Bend region. That's what I'm reading. This was off of LinkedIn. 3 million customers are without power, and a half a dozen states, including Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina, have been hit especially hard. Now, you know it's bad when they start telling people, if you're not getting out of town, take a magic marker and write your name and social security number on your leg. Now, when people start telling me to do that, so you got to show us of writing your name on your leg or getting out of Dodge, I think I'm going to get out of Dodge. But I know some people, it's not as easy. It's easier said than done to some people. People have limited transportation, some senior citizens and people like that. We always like to think, well, why didn't they leave? Well, it's easy for you to say. If you got a car, you're mobile, you're young, you can run. But some of our people who have challenges of mobility, it's not quite that easy. So we're going to be hoping and praying for them to be safe. If you know anybody down there, check on them. And anything you can do to help, by all means, let's do that. Let's see here. What else is going on? I'm going to jump into my topic in a second so I can get to my guest later on. Kmart is shutting down its last store in the U.S. And I remember Kmart. Man, they were a icon on the business landscape in this country. Well, they're closing their last store in Bridgehampton, New York, for good on October 20th. I'm telling you, with Amazon and some of these other places, Target, and it's hard for a big box store to maintain a physical presence. It's really getting more difficult. And even the ones that are present now, sometimes they're used more for pickup locations than for food in places for products you ordered online than for people shopping. So you place your order on Target, but you go over to the Target store. You place it online and you go to the Target store to pick it up. So retail and shopping is changing its face right before our eyes. So just beware and keep that in mind for you, for the business owners out here. How is this going to impact you and your business? Things don't happen in a vacuum. If it's affecting Target, if it's affecting Kmart, if it's affecting people down in Florida, it's just a matter of time before it starts to impact you as well. Think about supply chain, think about indirect competition. All of these things will impact your business going forward. So let's don't just look at these things as news items, but look at them also as sometimes harbingers of things that's going to come your way. Let's see what else is going on. We have Meta is coming out with some new glasses. They had the company had I guess it's showcase talking about the neat things of the future. They're talking about these eyeglasses might replace the cell phone. So there's all kind of things coming down the pike. Just letting you know, people. I'm telling you this, just say keep up. Just try to keep up. And if you're not sure, just check in here every now and then. Matter of fact, you might as well just check in every week. And let us show you the way. We're going to keep you abreast of what's going on here. Right here on the Marketing Pulpit radio show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in for the first time. Welcome to the show. And for those who are tuning in, Some of our regular customers, thank you for supporting the show over the past 14 years. The show started on Radio 1 in 2010, and we've been rocking and rolling ever since. I see Brother Bradley Thomas. Thank you for tuning in. This the brother had a suit on my program yesterday. It looks like the one you have on right now. Brother, man, I tell you, man, great minds think alike there, Brother Bradley Thomas. He said, I got on a suit like his. I'll tell you, man, I noticed that people and I, we kind of hang in the same crowd. And, I know we got a lot of things in common, probably more than we realize. So that means I have good taste if I'm wearing the same kind of suit you're wearing. Thanks for the information. Let's see. Let's talk about our topic for today, and then we're going to take a break and come back and bring on our guest, Mr. Arthur Hunter from Legal Chill. Let me ask you this. You've heard this expression, the customer is always right. And that's a commonly held belief, and it's not a bad policy, at least in theory, because we should always prioritize customer satisfaction. However, even though the customer not always right, sometimes we have to make them feel like they're right, because sometimes they can be abusive, sometimes they might be dishonest, sometimes they might might not be good people. So as a business owner, you got to find this balance. You got to strike this balance between standing firm on your policies while at the same time giving the customer some grace, and sometimes letting them have their way, sometimes even though they don't deserve it. So what do you do when a customer insists that they're right? You know they're wrong. They're just down, and in some cases they're downright irate, that they're satisfied. At the minimum, they're irate. And in some cases, they even want their money back. Let me give some quick tips, because we're going to be dealing with this whether we like it or not. It just goes with the territory of being in business. I've been talking about this first tip forever, whether you're talking about customer satisfaction or just business in general. Listen. You can never go wrong by being a good listener. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. You're supposed to listen more. The other thing you want to do, because when you listen, you want to be able to hear what the person is saying. Don't just be hearing, but listen. Active listening. The other thing I want you to do is remain calm. Man, some people can really push your buttons, and some just go for the hot spot. You can't let that bother you. You can't let that get under your skin. Okay? So remain calm, take some breaths, and then do what we call empathize. Empathize just simply means put yourself in the customer's shoes. And you might say something, well, you know what? That would make me angry too. I can understand why you're so upset. That's called empathize. And you start to see that temperature come down. And also apologize. I know some people say, well, you shouldn't ever apologize. Forget those folks. Call it whatever you want to, but accept responsibility. You're going to call it accepting responsibility, even though it's not your fault. What you're trying to do is bring the temperature down so you can solve this problem. Then start working on a solution. How are we going to fix this? Now you listen to them, you calm, you empathize with them, apologize. Now let's put a solution together. And of course, you want to always follow up. But let's take this thing a little deeper. Let's just say, in spite of your best efforts, you've been calm, you apologized, you followed up, and they want a refund. They want your hard-earned money back. In some cases, you've already done the work. Once again, you want to listen and really find out, why did this person want a refund versus solving the problem? Because in many cases, the refund does not solve their problem. Sometimes you're giving them a refund back. Now they got to start that process over again. It's just going to drag it out. Nobody's going to be happy. So find out, why are they insisting on a refund? And sometimes you find out, when you dig deeper, it has nothing to do with your service. They need that money back because they need the money back. So do a little probing and find out, why do they want a refund? Now, you can't tell them that. Say, hey, look, I know you want this money back because you broke. Can't do that. But a lot of times you can find out that it's not your It's not the service. It's not the main reason. Then the second thing you're going to do is determine if they are eligible for a refund. This way it gets a little sticky, because I know in the land of the customer is always right. You want to say, well, whether they were right or wrong, you give them a refund. Well, sometimes you just can't do that. Sometimes you're operating on razor thin margins. Sometimes you've got money issues to deal with yourself. And sometimes it's on a very, very high ticket item. It's hard to take that hit. You may have to resort to your policies to determine if they are actually eligible for a refund. And you may be able to do something in lieu of a refund, maybe a partial refund, maybe a different product, maybe some extra hours on something else, depending on your business model. But many companies are not built with a margin that allows them to give a refund on a very high ticket item, or where you have invested many, many hours that you would never see again. So you want to make sure that they're entitled to a refund, but do something, okay? Once again, admit, empathize, apologize, not necessarily because you did something wrong. Apologize that they had a bad experience, for whoever caused it. And offer to assist them with some other services that might help them solve this problem they have. Okay, this didn't work. Maybe we needed to try this model versus that model. Or maybe you needed this service of ours versus that service. Maybe you didn't do anything wrong. Maybe they just had the wrong product or service. Once again, follow up. If you offer them a refund, follow up to make sure they got it. Don't have them over there steaming at you and calling 7 on your side when you've already sent them the link to the refund or put the check in the mail. So follow up and learn from the experience. Now, we're talking about some things you should do if you've had that misfortune, but you can learn from the experience. What can we do not to get in this position in the first place? Maybe give some proactive steps that might help you avoid having a customer screaming at you, dissatisfied, spreading bad will, which can do your company in faster than anything, and in many cases, demanding a refund. The first thing I'm going to say might be surprising to many, but continue to work on your brand. People are much more likely to demand a refund and to be irate at a no-name company with a low brand identity than a big brand, because they would doubt themselves in many cases if the brand is strong before they doubt you. If you look like you're just working out the back of your car or just got off the back of a truck, they're already suspicious. They think you're doing something wrong before you even do anything wrong. But if you continue to build your brand and look professional, carry yourself professional, have professional staff, that's going to help you avoid some of these requests for refunds and dissatisfaction. Practice quality control. Put out a better product, okay? Go back and make sure you have controls in place. Don't wait until the customer's out there mad at you before you start looking at your quality control systems. Also, display clear policies and have clear channels of communication between you and the customers. On my website, I actually have a page that talks about our customer service experience, how a retainer works, what's better, a la carte services, how we bill people. All that is spelled out on the website. It's not a secret. We put it in fine print on the contract, but it's also on the website. And on our website, when we send you an invoice, we say you accept this invoice. That means you've read our policies and communication. Of course, most people don't do it, but you're trying to cover yourself also. Train your employees. I had a customer, this was last week. It's just so timely. I had a customer call me last Friday. It was Friday about, most people were getting ready to go home about 5 o'clock. And she went on and on and on about how happy she was. She said, I've been in this position for 12 years, and I've never had a company so professional as Gatewood Marketing. And I'm not making this up. She went on, I had to almost shut her up. She was carrying on so long about it. She said, you guys are professional, you follow up, you take the time, you're patient, you're experienced, and your staff carry that same enthusiasm through every project. And so I was thinking about one of the young ladies that was working with her on the project. And I have been drilling in her head for she's been working with me now for about 10, 15 years. And we've had this conversation so many times that customer service is going to be part of our unique selling position. You can't just it can't just stop with you. You have to talk about how great you are and how good you are with service, but your staff is out there just running it for you. Train your people. Also, I want you to do this. Monitor customer interaction and feedback. When I'm on a major project, like with this client that we just discussed, I have staff doing most of the work. But I am on the CC and sometimes a BCC, a blind carbon copy. I want to see the interaction between the client and my staff. That's not to pick on the staff or make them nervous looking over their shoulder, because they know I'm going to support them if they're doing the job correctly. But I make sure that everybody's on the same page. So when I have to jump in, I can defend that employee if I see that it wasn't their fault. That's another advantage. Also, last but not least, but it's not the last one, work on improving your customer service. Work on improving your products and services. Okay? And intervene if you see something going wrong. Don't get so high up on the food chain. It's your company, you're making all the money, you're making all the decisions, you're up in the flying around in jets and carrying on. And your company's going to hell because the staff is not following the protocol that you set down. Sometimes you have to come out of that ivory tower and intervene, particularly on your high-value clients. There are some clients, I love my staff, but I'm just not going to leave them in their hands if there's a problem with just one of the staff. If Attorney, he knows he can call me at any time. If I turn him over to Latrice or D'Angelo or somebody else, if there's a problem, I'm going to get involved because I value that client. Now, you can't do that for everybody. We have a web service that does domains and hosting and SSL certificates where the customers run into the thousands. I can't possibly physically do that. But on my client list, there's probably about 10, 12 people that I will stop what I'm doing. I would get out of the bed. I would take the phone on vacation for, because I understand these people are important to the survival of my company. And so we have to make sure that we take care of those people. So folks, that's our sermon for today. We're going to take a quick break. When I come back, I'm going to bring in my special guest and one of my sponsors, Mr. Arthur Hunter. He's with a company called Legal Shield. So hang on a second. This is the Marketing Pulpit. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a moment. So hang on. We'll be back in a minute.
For over 50 years, Legal Shield has made it affordable and easy to access a lawyer. Now we make it even easier. Just tap on the app for a great new way to connect with a vetted lawyer. Everyone needs legal help, but not everyone can afford a lawyer. Until now. Legal Shield is like having a lawyer in your back pocket for less than $1 a day. Creating a will? Buying or selling a home? We'll pair you with a designated law firm who knows your state laws. Questions? Answered. Problems? Solved. That's it? Yes. So once you're a member, what do? Tell us the problem, upload photos or documents, and schedule a call. Talk to your vetted lawyer for advice on things like wills and estates, real estate contracts, landlord-tenant issues, document review, consumer claims, and traffic violations. Need a lawyer to make a phone call or write a letter on your behalf? We can do that too. For covered emergencies, Legal Shield is here for you 24/7, and the app includes a guided will questionnaire, so you can create your will your way. Just answer a few questions about what you own. We guide you at every step along the way, so it's fast and easy. Need a break? Save your progress and finish anytime. Create your will on your schedule. Just tap on the app and get it done in a snap. Join over 1.8 million members who understand the peace of mind that comes with access to easy and affordable legal help. For this, that, and the next thing life can bring, be legal ready with Legal Shield.
All right, we're back. This is the Marketing Pulpit. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host, and we are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. As you can see, I have a gentleman here with me, Mr. Arthur Hunter of Legal Shield. Good afternoon, Mr. Hunter.
Good morning, Mr. Gatewood, and thank you for having me on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you some information. Every night, 8 o'clock, pinnaclezoom.com. It's a presentation presented by Legal Shield members and associates. Try to listen in. It's the Pinnacle team, the team that I belong to. Pinnaclezoom.com every night at 8 o'clock. My phone number, 240-432-6124. My email address, aelh1988@yahoo.com. My business address, you go to the business address, you can see what some presentations from Legal Shield. Also from my email and phone number, send me your email and your phone number. But ae.hunter.wearelegalshield.
All right,
Yes.
Mr. Hunter jumped right in on it. I want to welcome him. Mr. Hunter has been a supporter of this show really for a long time, and he calls me every now and then, and he said, "Look, Mr. Gatewood, I'm supporting what you're doing here. Can we get on there and talk about it?" And he has a service. He works with Legal Shield, and we were talking about it. We had a lot of conversation this morning talking about different streams of income. He got his job, he got his Legal Shield business. But one thing I'm just touching on that quickly because as in this society, it's more and more important now to have multiple streams of income. It's hard to do just one thing nowadays. But Mr. Hunter, and like I said, he's been a supporter of the show. He's one of our sponsors, and so today he came by the studio. I said, "Man, let's get on there and talk about this. Let's talk about it." So, Mr. Hunter, as a working with Legal Shield, why has Legal Shield been such a great service for you? You've been hanging in there with it. It must be good.
Legal Shield has saved me a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of heartache. It's helped me make a great deal of money and save money. I will tell you one of the services that Legal Shield offers, we have 24 hours, 7-day a week, emergency legal access through your cell phone. If you have any kind of problem, you hit your app on your phone and you can get in contact with a lawyer immediately. About 4 years ago, I was in Alexandria, Virginia. I was working for Floor & Decor, coming back home from doing inventory about 1 o'clock in the morning down Eisenhower Street. Police officer pulls me over. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting there, another police officer comes. They get out of their car, I cut on the lights. I have 3 phones recording everything. They're asking me all these questions. I say, "Officer, I work right there in that building. I'm just getting off from work." They said, "This time?" I said, "Why did you stop me?" They kept asking me questions. Eventually, they told me, they said, "Well, this time of night," they were just trying to harass me. But at one point, I said, "Well, officer, I need for you to speak to my lawyer." And they said, "Well, why do you need to speak to a lawyer?" I said, "Because I'm surrounded by 4 men with automatic weapons. I believe you need to speak to my lawyer." I hit the Legal Shield app. Gentleman comes on the phone from Freeman, Frommie, and Thrush here in Baltimore. He identifies himself. I tell him the situation. He tells the police officers, "You're no longer dealing with Arthur Eric Lanier Hunter. He's my client. You're talking to me." He gave his name, where he works. He said, "If my client is being detained, I want to know why. If he's being arrested, let us know where you're taking him so we can have a representative come down and have him released. Why have you stopped him?" They said, "Well, he has a light out." They said, "Well, give him a repair order. He'll have it done within 15 days. Well, they didn't want to give me a repair order. Eventually, after speaking to the lawyers, they said, "Well, he can go." And he said, "Well, what are you going to do? Stop him when he gets down the street?" The lawyer stayed with me on the phone until I got home. Contacted the lawyer. Me and my wife looked at the light in the morning. There was nothing wrong with the light. They said the light was out. There was nothing wrong with the light. I got in contact with the lawyer. He said, "Well, they were fishing. They said you're a black man. They saw you out, and they just wanted to. Well, they were fishing." So Legal Shield got me out of something at that time, and then also, again, the 24-hour access service. Any kind of problem you have access to your lawyer. And I had some problems with some real estate problems, and I contacted a lawyer. When people are speaking to you, you have no credibility. But when they're dealing with a law firm and a law firm says, well, we might file a suit against you, then that's when people listen.
Wow. I know that's right. Well, now it's also, okay, it helps you out in these legal situations, but also talk to us from the business side.
Well, I'm a manager. I am a member and an associate. I offer this service to other people. When they buy the service, $29.95 a month for the service, a one-time fee of $49 to become an associate. And as an associate, you offer this service to other people. When other people buy the service, you get a commission. You start off simply at an associate. You can go all the way up to executive director. And when you executive, you're getting more than $250 for every time someone joins. And then when they bring other people, it's residual income that you're getting because of other people's work. You're leveraging other income. And that's why I'm in the Legal Shield. My wife used to go to law school before her first husband died. She got me involved in Legal Shield. And it's a great service. It's something that you can do part-time out of your home with your computer or cell phone, part-time, and get a full-time salary. And at the same time, if you're simply a member, I have something here. We have a Legal Shield member perks. If you go to legalshield.perkspot.com, you will see if you're simply a member, when it comes to apparel, automotive, books, cell phones, electronics, finance, gifts, food, wellness, airline tickets, tickets and entertainment, real estate and moving, office supplies, a family can save a year, average, they say a little bit more than $2,000 just from using the member perks for Legal Shield because you're a member. And then again, you can be in your bedroom, contact your friends, and have them send them presentations from Legal Shield, and you can make an income right from your home.
Right from home. So how long have you been doing this, Mr.?
I've been doing this for 8 years.
8 years, okay.
And it is a great thing. When me and my wife got ready to get married, June 8 years ago, we got her a Mini Cooper out in Alexandria, Virginia. Mm-hmm. And because we're Legal Shield members, we got $4,000 off the cost of the car. I like that car. I'm a little bit bigger now, so it's difficult for you laughing. I'm a little bit difficult for me to get in it now, but I love the Mini Cooper. It's
I like the Mini Cooper too. I like that. It's one of my favorite cars. Yeah. This is great. But I tell you what, Mr. I'm glad I finally got a chance to get you on the show. We play your video as one of our sponsors from time to time, and I'm sure people are wondering who's behind the person behind this video. And we'll continue to do that. And thank you for being a sponsor of the show. It's people like Mr. Hunter that keep this show going. And it sounds like he has a service, not only a service that people can use, but also an income opportunity for somebody who's looking to create another stream of income. Closing words, Mr. Hunter.
Closing words, your family, we're living in critical times. The Bible talks about how we're living in critical times. Jobs can be somewhat precarious. With Legal Shield, you can do this on your own time. Contact your friends, have them join, network with other people. On Pinnacle.Zoom, they talk about residual income and leverage income. And Legal Shield allows you to do that, and it gives you tangible results that you could see in your everyday life.
Well, folks, you heard it right here on the Marketing Pulpit Radio Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. I'm here with my special guest, Mr. Arthur Hunter from Legal Shield. And if you have a business you want to promote, contact me. Go to marketingpulpit.com and come on board. Let us talk about you and bring you on the air and put you in our business directory. And let's try to build these businesses in our community so we can create this income and put people to work. So that's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you again, Mr. Hunter.
Thank you, sir.
And as I say always, if you want to be successful, you have to do these three things. Do the right thing, do it at the right time, and you have to do it right. Enough talk. Let's get to work.
One cup of greens per day will lower your risk of dying from heart attack or stroke by 30%. Hallelujah. A half a cup of beans every day will drop you down by another 30% because of the fiber and the medicines in the beans will sweep away the cholesterol and the saturated fat. Half a cup of berries per day with all of the antioxidants and flavonoids will drop your risk down. And then finally, a fourth of a cup of nuts and seeds every day will drop your risk down by 33%. You simply eat those foods every single day and take everything else away that's destroying you. And we could eradicate heart disease, high blood pressure, and stroke. Glory! Hallelujah.
Register today and get ready for your health revolution.